First, take note of this line here, which represents the first time that formerly enslaved Black Americans were able to vote. Well, at least the men. Nowadays, most Black Americans tend to vote for the Democrats, but back then they mostly voted for Republicans, if they voted at all. Then there's this line here, labeled liberal, standing for liberal Republicans, who during the 1872 elections supported the Democratic candidate. Also shown is the temperance movement, which drew from both Republicans and Democrats. It eventually led to the prohibition of alcohol, but that didn't actually happen nationwide until 1920. Finally, there's the labor reform movement, which started to gain traction in the late 1800s. Now, as you can see, this chart ends around the year 1880, which is when it was first published. A later edition extended it to 1892, showing the first post-Civil War Democrat to be elected, Grover Cleveland. But after that, there were sadly no more updates. Thus, in order to bring things up to date and tell you what happened between 1892 and today, I'm going to have to use a more recent chart. There are several out there, such as this timeline, but the one that I like best is this chart, created by Kathleen Cowell. As you can see, it shows the first three party systems, which we've already covered, but then goes on to show the rest as well, starting with the fourth. The fourth party system was a lot like the third, with the Republicans dominating in the North and the Democrats dominating in the South. But the main difference was the increasing focus on progressive issues by both parties. For example, this was the period when women fought for the right to vote, which they were granted nationally in 1920.